guys, welcome to Most Craved. I'm Jenna Busch with Legion of Leia.
And I'm Meredith Placco with Geek.com.
And I'm William Bibbiani with CraveOnline. Hey, Tiff.
So many hays today.
I know.
I like it.
You're very excited, aren't you?
I'm no, because it's going to be like a 6-hour flight, and I have to leave at midnight, and then I have to run right into a screening. The Toronto International Film Festival is a very, very, very busy film festival. There's no conceivable way anyone can see all the films in a week. So you're just kind of running around, and I'm probably going to see at least 15 movies in 3 days.
Wow, do you know how many total are streaming?
I couldn't even tell you. I was running down the list trying to prioritize, the bigger movies, the smaller movies I really want to sneak in, and it's ridiculous. If there was a thing it would be ridiculous. There's so much.
That's what my face looked like before Comic-Con. So I totally get it. Totally get it.
But I look forward to it. It is an amazing film festival, and for a lot of people who care about this sort of thing, this is what kind of kicks off the Oscar season. Everyone's going to be talking about a lot of the bigger movies. Historically, a lot of the bigger award season films that we are stuck talking about for like the next 6 months. And then everyone forgets about 2 months later, like The Imitation Game. They're just gone. They'll start here. This is the big deal.
Yeah, and probably the biggest movie that's going to be there is The Martian.
Yeah.
Yes, that's kind of their big opening shebang debut. It seems like they're trying to play it up as the new Gravity, which debuted at the Toronto International Film Festival. That was another heady sci-fi drama about someone trapped in space. Maybe they'll die, maybe they won't, and ended up winning a ton of
like
Oscars.
Space. No, I love stuff like that. I have a little bit of a space thing. So, and I just started reading the book. So far, really, really love it. So I'm really excited about this one. But
I sense some hesitation.
No. So here, my concern is, and I'm a huge Ridley Scott fan going back to the Alien films. Now, is this going to be his Apollo 13 comeback, or are we going to get Prometheus? And this is my honest to God fear, because I know I love the book. My boyfriend and I both, read it and done the audio versions, and I love Ridley Scott, but I have concerns. I have legitimate concerns that will he be able to take this amazing material and bring it to life?
Ridley Scott is one of those really big hit or miss directors. When he hits huge and he makes a classic, and when he misses, then you see the director's cut and you find out it was always great all along. And the studio just let him release the director's cut. Has it ever not worked out?
Yeah, just leave it be. I got yelled at the last time we discussed my feelings on Prometheus.
I remember that. Was it because you were anti-Prometheus?
Yes.
Well, you should be.
Yeah.
Take that, Internet.
Yes.
It's a problematic film. Looks good.
I am sorry if you disagree. But I have heard your concerns. It has not changed my mind. So
I'm just instigating. That's all I'm doing. What else are you guys excited for to come out of TIFF?
Black Mass.
Yeah, the Johnny Depp. With Whitey Bulger.
Yeah. Johnny Depp. Yeah, that story, I didn't really know a lot about it, and someone was telling me the history of it. And this seems like one of those, like Johnny Depp, commits to his roles. Sometimes they're a little goofy. This time, it seems like he's super committing, and it's not goofy.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see this level of performance from him. Yeah. I mean, okay, he does kind of look like a young Jack Nicholson, which kind of, but I think that's going to work for him in this. But just from the trailers alone, and some of even the lack of hype behind it makes me suspect that this is going to be the one breakout film from TIFF.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people saying, don't call this Johnny Depp's comeback, either because it's not going to make as much money as his bigger movies, which shut up, and two. It's as if Johnny Depp hasn't been acting. Problem is, he hasn't been acting in anything good for a while. Even if you defend some of his more mainstream stuff lately, Johnny Depp was one of our great actors for many, many, many years, and then he just started making very mainstream stuff. And even when he was good in it, it wasn't terribly interesting, and I don't think most of them will be remembered 20 years from now.
And there's nothing wrong with doing mainstream.
Yeah,
I mean, he obviously has done a great job with Pirates. They have another one coming out, but
so many Pirates.
But there's something to be said about going back and taking on a role as emotionally charged as this.
Absolutely.
That's going to challenge him as an actor and us as an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite actors has a new film playing at TIFF, of course, Tom Hardy, who is co-starring with Tom Hardy in Legend, which is yet another film about the Cray brothers, who are these identical twin brothers who just completely took over crime in England. And it's awesome. It's been turned into a movie before. In fact, it's also being turned into a movie again very, very recently, if not like in the next year. But this is Tom Hardy acting opposite Tom Hardy in a film by Brian Helgeland, who's a really
Yeah.
good filmmaker. If you ever see his director's cut of Payback, it's way better than the theatrical cut, and he won an Oscar for co-writing LA Confidential.
Yeah.
So, badass.
This is so much Tom Hardy. I think this sounds fantastic. I'm really excited to see this one.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yes.
The Danish Girl.
Ooh.
Everyone's going to be looking at this one.
Controversial.
Everyone's going to be looking at this one to be like this big Oscar darling this year, and it's easy to see why. It's directed by Tom Hooper. Every feature film he's ever directed has been nominated for Best Picture or won. Eddie Redmayne just got an Oscar. Alicia Vikander's co-starring in it.
Fantastic.
She's having one hell of a year.
Oh yeah, and if you guys have not seen her in Ex Machina, you have to watch it. She's mind blowing.
Yeah, but this is the story of a woman who was, or a man who became a woman, supposedly the first or one of the first transgender operations, and that alone, kind of a big deal. But they also managed to take this story about a very contemporary issue and make it into a costume drama, so it's going to get a ton of Oscar nominations.
Yeah, there is some controversy surrounding this. A lot of people were talking about the fact that they would have preferred if they'd use a transgender person in the role. Although from my understanding of the film, a large portion of it is pre-op. So
Yeah.
But whether or not you agree, whether you disagree, it will bring even more discussion to the topic, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, and again, that's a valid concern.
Right,
Don't get
of
me
course. Oh,
wrong.
absolutely
And I've
it is.
complained about similar issues
Right.
before, but on some level, it is acting.
Yeah.
It's if it's mostly pre-op, then that's kind
And
of
that's
okay.
just my understanding. I don't know for certain.
We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
We'll hopefully see it this weekend, and we'll talk. And then maybe once it comes around, I will completely change my tune and say the Danish Girl is evil. The movie, the person might very well have been nice.
I'm very excited just for the doors it's opening and the conversations that are being had, regardless of, if it's a straight cis male being cast in the role versus a transgendered woman, it's still getting that conversation going, and that's what we need to have right now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I actually think that's fantastic, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
But there are also, the other thing, we talk about a lot of these big premieres at the Toronto International Film Festival, and there's a lot of big movies. We've got movies with Robert Redford and Tom Hiddleston's playing Hank Williams. Awesome.
Yeah.
But the smaller movies are really important, and some of them never get properly released or get a full release.
Yeah.
Some of them don't end up making the huge waves, but they're there to get more attention. The Martian's already going to get released.
Yeah, absolutely.
Legend is already going to get released. But one of the films I'm most excited about, which may or may not get a big release in America, is Mamoru Hosoda's The Boy and the Beast.
Yeah.
Mamoru Hosoda is my favorite living filmmaker. He directed Summer Wars. He directed The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. And he's got a new movie about a boy who discovers a secret world of monsters living underneath their own. And then he befriends a martial arts fighting bear and becomes his apprentice. Awesome!
How could that not be awesome?
I'm like so stoked about I'm like, oh, this is everything I love about growing up watching anime and then loving cinema. So
Yeah, there's not enough of that, I feel, represented at film festivals like Toronto International Film Festival. But there's a lot of different iconoclasts. I think Takashi Miike has a new film over there. Sion Sono has a new film over there. So, if you're into the non-mainstreamy stuff, there's going to be a lot of coverage coming out of the next week. Much of it at CraveOnline.
I will be reading all of your stories.
Thank you very much. I can't cover everything, so keep a lookout, and there's going to be a ton of interesting films coming out in the near future. And the more interest that we show in them, the more we talk about them, the more likely it is that we will get to see the ones that don't already have a guaranteed release.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I will be reading all of your coverage.
Thank you.
On
You're
CraveOnline.
nice.
Yes. So, I am very excited for all of this. So.
Yeah.
It'll be good times. So where can we find your work again?
You can find me on geek.com or just hit me up on Twitter at mplaco, because I like to talk to people, especially about gender issues and nerdy things and movies. Because I just also want to say, I'm really excited for Angry Indian Goddesses. So if you get a chance to see that, please let me know how that
I'll
is.
have to check that out.
Yeah.
I'll definitely do my best. All right, so everybody, thanks for watching Most Craved. We'll be back.
Follow us on Twitter.
Yes, we'll be back next week with more stuff and things.
Bye.